Rodgers to the Steelers may be imminent. Big Deep news. The Aaron Rodgers saga may really be coming to an end here soon, because the Vikings are officially out on Aaron Rodgers, and that was the first domino to fall in this whole thing. That was like where this big logjam was. Aaron Rodgers has been waiting on word from the Vikings whether or not they're interested in having Aaron Rodgers be their quarterback for 2025. And they have officially made it known that J.J. McCarthy is who they're rolling with.
I am told the Vikings have rejected multiple trade calls involving their young quarterback, J.J. McCarthy, telling teams they are moving forward with McCarthy as their quarterback. Minnesota's still interested in adding a veteran, whether through free agency or a trade, but I am told they are not pursuing Aaron Rodgers. I am told Rodgers is now aware Minnesota is going in another direction.
So now it's down to the Steelers and the Giants. And if we lose out to the Giants, damn. Even if we lose out to Rodgers retiring, that's not a good look either, because it's clear Rodgers still wants to play, right? He still wants to play. He just wants the opportunity to be good enough. And what's that say about us if Rodgers is passing on the Steelers after we bring in a DK Metcalf? We got a good defense on paper, all that stuff. What's that say about the Steelers' current status if Rodgers passes up on us? Clearly wants to play, doesn't want to end on a sour note with how he finished up with the Jets. Or he decides the Giants over us. That's just a bad look. But the positive sign is I don't even think we're going to be getting to this point. I think it is going to be the Steelers, man. I think it is. Because once Rodgers heard that the Vikings are out, there have been ongoing conversations between him and the Steelers in the last, it seems like, 24 hours.
I am told there is ongoing dialogue between the Steelers, Rodgers' agent, as well as Aaron Rodgers himself and various members of the Pittsburgh organization. At this point, the Steelers are willing to wait on an Aaron Rodgers decision.
So this thing should be getting wrapped up here soon. Maybe today, maybe at some point this week. And that's reasonable. That's a reasonable time frame. Free agency officially only started a week ago. So, yeah, if we get to the point where Rodgers makes his decision Thursday, Friday, at some point this week, that's reasonable. That isn't Rodgers dragging this out. This isn't Rodgers creating drama, making it all about himself. No, I think that's reasonable, right? Completely reasonable, considering all the circumstances at play here. Rodgers did make it clear, was looking at the Viking situation, probably preferred that most, wanted to get word from there. Had the Steelers-Giants offers on the table, but wanted to see what Kevin O'Connell had to say. Got his answer today, or at least recently within the last 24 hours, and now he's got to decide between Steelers and Giants. And the good thing is, for people that want Rodgers to come to the Steelers, I'm not hearing anything about open dialogue and open conversations happening between Rodgers and the Giants. It seems like it's only between Rodgers and the Steelers. So I think it's going to happen, man. I think it's going to happen. Now, hopefully once Rodgers makes a decision and becomes a Steeler, all is well amongst teammates and amongst current Steelers here, because that Cam Hayward message wasn't necessarily the most cordial ways to recruit, right? I mean, he's had his recruitment in the past with Russell Wilson. Didn't really seem to go the same way that he addressed Aaron Rodgers coming here, or even Darius Slay.
I got a great one, man. You know, Cam Hayward, he did his, as soon as he saw the release, he kind of hit me up and was like, hey, Slay, man, look, we know we tried 2 years ago. You know what I'm saying? No, it didn't go through because they went with Pat P, and I was still, I was still in a contract with the Eagles. So he's like, man, come on. This is a great opportunity, man. We get going. So it was Cam mostly, man. You know, Cam hit me, and then I was like, man, they call, I'm ready for it. You know what I'm saying? And they called.
I think it'll be all good, though, because, again, it's not like this is getting dragged out to the draft. This isn't getting dragged out to May, months. Let's see what happens, man. I think it's going to happen soon. The Vikings decision was the first thing everyone was waiting for in this equation. That's happened. Ongoing conversations between Rodgers and the Steelers. I don't know what the holdup could be or what sticking points could be. Contract, maybe years on the contract, how much money it is, this and that, who knows? But there's ongoing conversations. I think that is a good sign. I think that shows interest from both parties that we want to move forward together and make this a thing for the upcoming year. Now, what does that mean for the Steelers and the rest of their quarterback room and like draft plans and stuff? Because I'm seeing a lot of mock drafts, or there's been a couple mock drafts that have the Steelers taking Shedeur Sanders at 21. Steelers, Mike Tomlin met with Jalen Milroe, had a dinner with him before Alabama's pro day today. They met yesterday. But if we get Rodgers, that means we'll have Rodgers and Mason, Skylar Thompson. I don't think it would be the wisest of things to take a quarterback early in this upcoming draft. If you already got Mason as your backup, you got Rodgers as your main guy, along with all the other signings you made in free agency, like trading for DK Metcalf, bolstering up your cornerback room. We're in win now mode. I think we're really ready to win. If you're going out of your way to get Aaron Rodgers this offseason as your quarterback, bro, you're trying to win. So I'm worrying about quarterback later on, like 5th, 6th, like talking, bringing in a guy to compete with Skylar Thompson for QB3. I don't think you're necessarily trying to draft your future and pick a guy in like the first round. Maybe third. But first round, and especially now that we don't have a second round pick, you want a guy that's going to help us win immediately this year. Hell, I'm not really for drafting a running back, but listen, you get Aaron Rodgers, you feel all right about your defensive line. The only real missing hole would be running back. And if you feel like Genty or Hampton or one of these like top 3 backs aren't going to be there clearly in the third round and you want to make sure you get a guy, then maybe you do take one in the first. I would prefer, if you're going to take running back, if you're going that approach, even if you're going defensive tackle, I think the smart thing, and I've been saying this on the last several shows, just trade back in the first. Trade back, get a late first-round pick. Now, I don't know. I got to look into this. I don't know who's got. Yeah, you would have to probably trade back in the first with a team that's picking late in the first and then try to scoop their second or maybe scoop up their third-round pick as well. So you have an additional second or third along with just having a later first-round pick. I don't know if there's any teams that have 2 seconds because that could be an option too. Maybe there's a team that has an early second but also has another second, like middle of the round. So then you have 2 seconds and a third. You could draft one of the running backs. You could also draft the defensive tackle. And then third round, maybe you're looking at quarterback. Maybe Milroe slips to the third round. I think that'd be an awesome pick right there. But if you have Aaron Rodgers, yeah, I don't even think you should be considering quarterback early on. You should just be in win now mode. Bolster up that D-line or get a running back. Is there a position I'm missing? Because cornerback, we should be straight. JPJ, Slay, Eccles is your top 3. You still got Beanie Bishop. You got Corey Trice. I think cornerback could be a position that's taken later on in the draft. Linebacker, Cole Holcomb, Patrick Queen, Peyton Wilson, Malik Harrison, Mark Robinson. Good there. We just signed Juan Thornhill as our third safety, along with Minka Fitzpatrick, Sean Elliott. D-line, again, like it's one of those things. I think we can make it work. It's not optimal. It's kind of similar to what we had going at the end of last year, just with some new names with Aquale in the building. Like, yeah, Aquale along with Benton, Cam Hayward, no more Ogunjobi, DeMarvin Leal, Logan Lee, brought back Loudermilk. It's kind of similar, so we could use another defensive lineman. Absolutely. A guy with high pedigree, a guy that could eventually take over for Cam Hayward as well, be a part of the future. On offense, it's just running back, really. DK Metcalf, Pickens. O-line, we know what it is. It's make or break for Broderick Jones over on the left side. I think we could use another guy or two for depth, but you could do that via free agency. Jaylen Warren back at running back. We got Muth, Darnell Washington. You could take a tight end late in the draft as like your third guy. Although who we bring in? We brought in Parham, so Parham and also Connor Hayward right now. Still no word on Pruitt. But you got 4 tight ends right there. We ain't really stressing too much on the offense outside of getting another running back in here. You're ready to go. I think that roster's absolutely ready to go. So I don't think quarterback would be the savviest of plays early in this draft. Now, again, you could sell me on quarterback being the most important position. You want to invest, make sure you got a guy lined up for the future. But if you're going with Aaron Rodgers, man, you're just focused on the here and now, and then you worry about the future quarterback next year. Mason, like if Rodgers only lasts 1 year, Mason could be your bridge guy for 2026, and then you draft the guy in 2026, and you have Mason and that guy compete for next year. And then, yeah, maybe that guy ends up beating out Mason, or Mason wins out. Mason proves he could be the guy, and who knows? Like I think you're focused on next year when next year hits. That's it for today's show and the current Aaron Rodgers situation. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments. Stay chilling. Peace.